Derek Bakker, naturopath from New Zealand. Thank you for coming back. We're going to talk about high cholesterol. We're going to talk about heart, cholesterol, foods, etc. That kind of topic. I've been in this health business a long time, as you know, you're aware of if you've been following my channel for some time now. And I've seen all kinds of health trends come and go. I've seen all kinds of professional advice come and go. I've seen people say things earlier on, that they consider to be a strong, scientific, powerful statement, which today has been debunked. So 30 odd years is a long time to be in natural healthcare. And one of the biggest things that really always annoyed me was how people said that eggs were bad for your health. Butter is bad for your health, Margarine is good for your health, by the way, because it's made by a man in a factory, so therefore it has to be good. If man makes it, it's got to be good. Yeah, right. If man makes it, it's usually crap. It's particularly a food, okay? We're not talking about a piece of furniture here. We're talking about stuff that goes in your mouth. So, a lot of misconceptions about cholesterol. A very interesting guy that I had the privilege of getting to know for a while was Dr. Ross Walker, Australian cardiologist, quite a well-known cardiologist in Australia, an integrative cardiologist. So Ross has done the hard yards. He's been involved in heart surgeries for many years, but then he started to realize you have to prevent heart disease, not actually pick up the broken bodies when they go over the cliff, but actually put up a barrier to stop them falling over in the first place, right? And so Ross came to New Zealand, had quite a few interesting seminars here. One interesting one was called The Big Fat Lie. It was all about cholesterol. Now, much of this news was not new to me because I'd been reading about it years before, that in fact cholesterol doesn't make people sick, fat and die of heart disease. And over half the people, in fact, that die of heart disease don't have elevated cholesterol, if you go and have a look at the research on it. So you can't categorically say that high cholesterol kills people, okay? Genetics do play an important role, there's no doubt about it. But there are other factors that account for high cholesterol, because remember, the liver makes about 80% plus of the body's cholesterol requirement, and about 15 to 20% comes in through dietary means. That's what research has shown. So it's not just about what you eat, it's how your liver processes the stuff that you do eat. For example, if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, if you're eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, if you're drinking lots of Coca-Cola, if you're eating foods like that, well, you've got trans fats, which are unhealthy saturated fats. You've got high sugar. You've got lots of colors and flavorings and crap. All these things affect your liver, especially the alcohol. So once you start talking like that kind of lifestyle, I'm not interested in talking to you about lowering cholesterol. So let's look at cholesterol really, because cholesterol is a starting point for all steroid hormone production in the body. Your body needs cholesterol. It needs it, desperately needs it. Every one of your trillions of cells in your body has got a membrane around it composed of fat. That's how important fat is. Your body needs fat. The brain especially needs a lot of fat. So if we look at a lot of the foods which we were told to be careful of and avoid, in fact, are good foods. The foods we should avoid, okay, are obviously the bad foods. We're talking saturated fats, man-made, takeaway kind of foods. We're talking processed meats. We're talking non-organic fatty beef and fatty chicken, especially the skins. These are bad forms of fats to have inside the body. So when you eat those kind of foods, especially if you're drinking alcohol and you've got a high stress lifestyle on top of that, you've got a high tendency for heart disease. So body mass index or your metabolism has a lot to do with it as well. But if you consistently make the right choices in your diet, even if you've got genetics against you, you're still going a long way to preventing heart disease. So what are some of the foods that you need to avoid that are high cholesterol foods? Well, I think you know that. These are takeaway foods. These are unhealthy foods. These are processed meats like salami and bacon and fat like that. They're not really good foods to eat, okay? The foods you prepare at home with butter, olive oil, home-cooked meals, vegetables, fruits, lean meats, these are the healthy foods that are not going to elevate the cholesterol. All right? So if we break cholesterol down, we have LDL, or low density lipoprotein, HDL, high density lipoprotein, and we also have triglycerides, which are another type of a component of cholesterol. And so the LDL, the low density, are supposed to be the bad guys, and the HDL, the high density, are the good guys. So the HDL lipoprotein, these are bits of protein that carry fat on their back, basically. because cholesterol is not really something that mixes well in blood or in water. It needs to be, carried on a protein to do its job. So too much LDL means that you're getting too much fat taken from the digestive system, the liver, and stuffed around in different parts of the body, especially small arteries, which may have a little bit of damage. So just imagine you've got a pothole and a guy comes along and dumps, some asphalt in that pothole and runs a steamroller over it, all right? So the pothole being like a little hole in your artery. Next thing, you're going to get bits of lipoproteins floating through those blood vessels, all right? Now you're going to get an immune reaction where that pothole is, and you're going to get a bit of stuff building up on there, and before you know it, it becomes more of a speed bump, not a pothole. Okay, and then all this crap starts building up. The immune system attacks it, it becomes an unstable plaque, which can break off, float further down, and then bang, off you go. Goodbye. You fall asleep, you have a stroke, you have a heart attack, whatever. But it all started with some arterial damage. All right. So be careful of the high LDL. HDL, on the other hand, takes these components back to the liver processing, so it is actually a good cholesterol. It's one that we really need. Triglyceride component is got more to do with sugars and medications, I find, than actually directly fats. So if you eat the good fats, we're talking, we're talking sesame seed oil, olive oil, we're talking plant-based oils that are organic and cold pressed, fish oils. There are many oils that are actually quite healthy for you, macadamia oil, avocado oil. So these actually have an ability to reduce inflammation in the body due to the high antioxidant content. These are the oils that we should be eating, and the fats. Check out my videos also on diet and lard and butter and other components I talk about on this channel, because there's a lot of information there. But suffice to say, if you keep away from the bad stuff and incorporate the good stuff, and particularly if you've got genetics on your side, it's going to go a long way towards you not getting a heart attack. Thanks for tuning in. Click on my link if you want my free paper in the description box. Thank you.